Hey friends, it's Mrs. Salerno here, and I am coming to you on Friday, April 23rd, 2020. And this is our math lesson for the day. This week, you guys have been working on adding with unknown add-ins. So that means you know how many you have at the end, but it might not tell you the two parts. So we are going to warm up our brains with this flower question. We see that we have 7 flowers altogether. Let's count and make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We don't know what colors they are. So we are going to make up some stories about it. So I have 7 flowers, and some of them are purple and some of them are red. I just have these little counters that I made. You guys could use anything when you guys are doing these kinds of problems, but I'm just going to cover them up with these colors. So I have 7 flowers. I am going to make 4 of them purple. I have 7 flowers, 4 of them are purple, which means 3 of them need to be red. So then I can come over here and I can write 7 flowers equals 4 purples plus 3 reds. Good job. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to make up another one. So I still have 7 flowers, but this time I only want 2 purples. So if I have 2 purples, that means that I need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reds. I'm going to come over here and say 7 equals 2 for the purple plus 5 reds. And just like that, we made up 2 different stories about having 7 flowers. So now that our brains are getting going and ready to go, here is your worksheet for today. So on today's worksheet, we are going to tell some stories about some fruit. There are 10 pieces of fruit. Some of them are apples and some of them are pears. So we're going to come up with a story for that. So I'm going to start, whoops, the daisies. Oopsies. Forgot to turn off the pen. We're going to start with some apples. There we go. I'm going to do an easy peasy one. I have 5 apples. If I have 5 apples, but I know that there are 10 pieces of fruit, then I know I need 5 more pieces of fruit. So that means that I need 5 pears, because we know that 5 and 5 make 10. We also know that I have 10 because my 10 frame is now full. All right, so first I need to write my sentence. Here was my story. I had 10 pieces of fruit. They are just putting the equals on the other side. It's the same thing if they were to write it the other way. 10 equals 5 apples plus 5 pears. I could write that the other way and it would mean the same thing if I flip the equals onto the other side. So I could write 5 plus 5 equals 10. They mean the same things. They just flip-flopped where the equal sign was. All right, let's do another story. So I'm going to take my pears off. And I'm going to take, whoops, the daisies. Not that. Let me move that. These apples want to be tricky today. All right, put that back. Whoops, there we go. Crazy. All right, now I still have 10 pieces of fruit, but this time I am going to start with 8 apples. So I have 1, 2, man, being tricky. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I know that if I have 8 apples, I can see that I need 2 more to fill up my 10 frame. So if I have 8 apples, I have 10 equals 8 plus I know that I need 2 more pieces of fruit. I need 2 more pears to make my 10. So 8 plus 2 equals 10. Now I'm going to leave these blank for you guys to do your own. You can copy my first two if you want, but then I want you to come up with your own. Now, if you don't have pieces of fruit or something like that, you guys can use anything at home. Just don't draw on it until the very last one, because once you color on here, you're not going to be able to do the rest of the questions. So you could use anything you have at home. You could use Legos or pieces of paper. You could use, I have like trains from my son's toys. You guys can use anything. It doesn't have to be fruit, but it's just to give you the idea of telling stories. So go ahead and do 2 more stories about apples and pears or whatever you want it to be. Then on the back, you are going to see this page. And on the back, you are going to make up some stories about some birds in a tree. I'm going to count first and see how many birds do I have, because I see the equal sign here and I see that they're not telling me what it equals. So first, I want to know, how many do I have all together? How many birds are in my tree? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I have 10 birds again. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to write the number 10 over here, because 10 birds in my tree equals. Now, here's where you get to be creative. You get to choose how many of the birds are red, how many are blue. And since they give you 2 different trees for both problems, this time you can go ahead and color. So I'm going to pick my red marker, and I'm going to pick some of them to be red. You guys can color better than me. It's kind of hard on my computer to do well. But here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to have 6 reds. So if I have 10 birds and I want 6 of them to be red, now I need to figure out how many are going to be blue. And I can see that 1, 2, 3, 4 of them need to be blue. So I'm going to get my blue marker and I'm going to do a quick color. You guys can color much better than Mrs. Salerno, but you get the point. 10 equals 6 reds plus 4 blues. Now I want you to go ahead and either make your own or copy mine, and then I want you to make a different one. But I'm going to challenge you on this last one to see if it can be different than any of the other ones you did on this side or the apple and pear side. Can you come up with something totally different that still equals 10? You guys are doing awesome this week. Keep up the hard work for one more day, and then you guys get a weekend. Make sure that you guys send your pictures to your teacher so that they know what you are working on, and don't forget to do your daily challenge. We'll see you guys all soon.